Hello, and thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Catholic education. I'm Dr. Jim Rigg, Superintendent of the Archdiocese of Chicago Catholic Schools. Welcome. This has been a school year like no other. We have been socially distanced, masked, and challenged in many ways. But in this pandemic, we have also been innovative and resilient, coming together as families, students, teachers, and school staff. We've confronted the unknown and together found success. For most of the year, our students remained in class, safely learning and thriving. It is one of the many reasons we celebrate Catholic education today. Getting here was no small achievement, and it all began by confronting the uncertain. Let's take you back to when this all began, for most of us in March of 2020.
It was like the worst case scenario that we could have possibly imagined. We can't go back in our classrooms, we can't see our kids, and we're told that we still need to be teaching.
The president declares a national emergency. The governor shuts down all Illinois schools, including CPS. That's 2 million students.
They told us that we were going to be gone for just 2 weeks. So we're like, okay, 2 weeks, and we're all excited about it. Like, we get a break for 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks happen, and they're like, okay, we're going to stay home for another month.
So the directive we were given in the summer was that we have to offer an in-person model, but we also have to accommodate families who choose an at-home model.
I did know that the anxiety was out there, even if my teachers weren't sharing it with me, because most teachers were feeling like, what are we doing? This is too hard.
Throughout the whole process, it was always, how do we open and keep all of those people safe, all those groups? And so I think we felt a lot of fear, but we also felt a lot of hope.
I really have to commend the teachers. We all just kind of tried to make it work, you know, like building the car while you're driving it type thing.
You come into this thinking, oh my gosh, can we do this? And then we look back, here we are in March, 1 year later, and we not only are doing it, we have done it.
My name is Darius, and this is my poem inspiration. When you say something, you mean it. You become it, you dream it. Because you feel like you need it, you find it intriguing. And then one day you throw it away and wonder why you found it amusing. You figure you're losing. But what started as a spark, what could be a walk in the park, is a fire now that you cannot put out. You want the world to hear you, yet you don't speak loud. Here you are right back in the moment of despair where you think no one cares, and then one person who was with you through it all, who picked you up when you started to fall, showed you run before walk, gave you words when you couldn't talk. And they tell you you always had it in you, but you always let it win you. Long story short, abbreviation, everyone has a little inspiration.
Getting to where we are today meant as educators we had many new lessons to learn. Concepts like social distancing and wearing masks became commonplace as our region worked to keep infection rates down. Our national economy suffered with many parents of Catholic school students affected by financial uncertainty and unemployment. With the arrival of vaccines, we can be hopeful that the pandemic will soon be behind us. This has been a year of profound and lasting challenge, and yet in spite of all this complexity, our Catholic schools have stepped up like never before, providing stability and hope for our school families. When we moved to virtual learning last spring, our schools quickly implemented high-quality virtual learning. Throughout the spring of last year, we served lunches to families in need, and in some cases opened as a food pantry to our local communities. Most importantly, we safely reopened our schools to in-person instruction last fall. We kept students and employees safe by coordinating closely with health department officials and implementing an array of health and safety precautions. I have been so impressed by the countless ways our Catholic schools have continued to serve families in this COVID pandemic. I know you join me in offering gratitude to all those in Catholic education, particularly our heroic teachers, principals, and staff members. Here is an up-close and personal look at how they got it done.
My name is Dr. Molly Cinnamon, and this is my second year as the principal of Pope John XXIII School. I was sitting here in my desk, It was March 13th, and it was a PD day for professional development for my staff. So we knew Corona was bubbling, but we didn't really know the extent.
I'm Kathy Patterson, and I am been at the school for over 30 years. Looking back, the kids were more upset. You know, they were very anxious. So we spent like the weeks leading up to that really talking to the kids and helping the kids take, you know, saying, yes, you're safe. We didn't have answers at that time, but I said, we will find the answers and we'll take care of it.
The miracle is that these teachers, and not just my school, all schools, pivoted to e-learning on a weekend.
And then everything turned and we had meetings, I couldn't see my friends, and it was not very fun.
The use of technology was kind of different for everyone because it was like we were all in like Zoom meetings all day.
My name's Ronnie Faison. I'm the principal and CEO of St. Francis de Sales High School. I think we knew that we wanted to bring kids back. We knew that our kids needed it. We wanted to make sure that we were being authentic to that idea of family, right? Of really thinking of our neighbor and loving our neighbor and really staying true to those really Catholic and Christian values of being, loving and protecting those that we love.
Part of the Archdiocese plan required us to have a reopening team. So we had to have a group of teachers that met with me and our pastors, and I had a few parents I consulted with as well. And we met regularly, virtually over the summer to talk about how it would look here.
I was transparent with families from the beginning. Let me do the research. I didn't know, right? I couldn't pretend to know until I had all the data. And so I was really transparent with them that we could pivot, right? We were gonna pivot as needed.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hi, I'm Sally Santiano. I'm the principal at St. John de La Salle Catholic Academy. And then there was the summer and all the regulations and the guidelines and trying to figure out what that's gonna look like for our school. The spacing and the stickers, and in the midst of, hiring a teacher or two.
Good afternoon, teachers and students. I hope that you've had a fabulous Friday.
You're at St. Benedict Preparatory School. I'm Rachel Gemmo, head of peer school here. The Archdiocese gave us a set of guidelines which were based on CDC recommendations for school opening in accordance with the Illinois Department of Public Health and also the Chicago Department of Public Health. So they took all those guidelines. The Archdiocese worked with a team of medical experts.
When you come to a group of teachers and you say, well, first of all, we're all gonna be wearing masks and we're all gonna be socially distanced. And by the way, you can't use your rugs, no classroom rugs. You can't, all this, we can't. It was like, but what if we tried this? We had an influx of new students from the public schools who were happy that we were open, and it was a great moment for Catholic schools. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before, and our enrollment's through the roof.
But when I came back to class on my first day, like one of the best days in this entire year, it felt so nice to come and see all my friends together.
It was really hard getting into e-learning due to COVID, but then I was really relieved to be back in person.
I was like, I get to see my friends again. I'm happy.
When we arrived in the fall, we did our first round of iReady, which is a diagnostic tool for math and reading. K through 8, when everyone did their first round of testing, I got the results back, and everyone was a full grade level behind. Everyone, our kids, new kids, everybody.
My name is Andy Galos. I teach in the middle school, the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, primarily religion. It's much easier and better to teach them live and in person. There's just that more of an opportunity to help develop community and to really be there for each other when you're live and in person.
Everything that happens in a school was affected by the new guidelines, from how a student enters the building to how they come into the classroom, how they use facilities, how teachers teach. What do you do with the students that are at home, remote learning?
We only have maybe 5 kids out of 230 that have chosen e-learning for the year, and those kids are all synchronous. So when you walk into a classroom, you'll see Mrs. Tumbush talking to her kids in front of her, and then she'll go over to her camera and say, "Hi guys at home, are you following me?"
I'm Lindsay Tumbush. I teach 2nd grade here at Pope John the 23rd. I was a skeptic, I will be honest. Over summer, it was always talking, we're gonna go back in the fall. And I was like, there's no way.
In entering the building, students, do something called a math check. So we check to make sure they have a mask on. We ask how they're feeling.
Miss Anton, who's the lunch lady, she's usually there, and she checks our temperature with like those weird temperature checking guns or something like that, those things. And then we get hand sanitizer.
So this year, the students' desks are all apart. Everything that they brought in or everything that I had to be labeled so that they would know what's theirs, down to pencils and glue sticks, just to make sure that they are not sharing any supplies and their germs aren't passing.
Maybe it's changed a little bit in how we do it, but just being there for each other, I don't think that has changed.
I remember back to those first days when, I don't know, we took off our mask if we were outside for lunch. Seeing their faces, I just like, it almost brought me to tears. Just being like, oh my gosh, that's your face, that's what you look like, you're beautiful.
Our students look forward to coming here. They still, run in the building, run to the building because they want to be here. You can hear joy in the classrooms.
We've only had 4 isolated cases of coronavirus, and in all 4 cases, the children have been asymptomatic. The nice thing is none of the cases have spread. They've all remained singular in those classes, and during those 4 little instances, that cohort flipped to e-learning seamlessly.
I watch my teachers and they're superheroes. I watch them walk around the classroom with a computer in one hand, a stationary camera in another, and they're walking around the building still trying to accommodate everyone. So I'm under no illusions that it's an easy process, but we're doing it because it's what needs to get done.
This is a ministry, and we're here to serve the kids and to work with the kids, and that's been my whole philosophy, my whole career. We're here to serve them, and this is just one way that we are able to do so. And if it means that I have extra work that I have to do, well, so be it. So as long as the kids are getting that opportunity to learn and to grow, that's the important part.
I do see that kids learn better when we're together.
With that type of leadership, and then all of the staff being just as involved and just as nurturing and just as caring, it actually gave us a sense of normalcy in a very unnormal situation.
Come the mid-year assessment for winter, we've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. And I don't think it's just smarts. I think it's having those good study habits back, having a whole social, emotional, academic, spiritual experience.
St. Francis being a Catholic school, those values stay with you. And I think that those Christian values kind of help through this experience.
I feel special and I feel that I'm happy that I am in this kind of school. I feel like I'm glad my school was ready.
Being on computers all day, every day would be hard sometimes, and it's really a gift to be in person.
We've really gotten to know each other. It's going to be hard to say goodbye at the end of the year, but I'm excited for them that they got to be in person and that they got to get everything they needed this year in order to be prepared for 3rd grade.
We made it, and I'm not surprised at all.
I'm so happy. I can't imagine myself going into any other school.
We have so much to celebrate as this school year draws to an end. We greatly appreciate the support of our many sponsors who have supported emergency tuition assistance and academic innovations for Catholic schools. We want to take a moment to thank them now.
guys. Good job. And I will see you soon. Bye. Bye.
Greetings, Catholic school families, teachers, principals, alumni, and champions. I'm Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and I want to thank Cardinal Supich and Superintendent Rigg for inviting me to speak at this year's Celebrating Catholic Education event. In a city as diverse as Chicago, Catholic schools have always played a significant role beyond providing an outstanding education for our communities. The Catholic schools have been nurturing places of warmth and kindness and deeply invested in the success of neighborhoods across our city, as well as rooted in Catholic faith and mission and welcoming students from all backgrounds and all faith traditions. Even though this past school year has been the most challenging in the history of Catholic education in Chicago, your schools have managed to continue the proud legacy, and that's thanks to you. As a parent of a Catholic school student myself, I can speak from personal experience and say that my daughter and her friends have had a wonderful academic, social, emotional learning experience even throughout this pandemic. Catholic schools, I couldn't be prouder of all of you and all you've accomplished this year, and we have definitely followed your lead. On behalf of a grateful city, thank you for your service to Chicago's families, and please everyone, continue to be safe.
Hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me to join you in this special celebration of Catholic education. As a former Catholic school student and a teacher, education has always been close to my heart. I credit the strong foundation of faith formation, charity, and community support of Catholic education with my call to devote my life to God. To this day, I love working with young people at Loyola University Chicago as they keep me young at heart. I wish to congratulate everyone in the Archdiocese Catholic school community on an extraordinary year. It was not easy, but you all joined together, strengthened by your faith and commitment to providing the best education possible to make this year possible. Please continue to pray for each other and for your communities, and never lose the faith that has brought us this far in the pandemic. Thank you, and God bless all of us.
We also thank our student performers today for helping to entertain us. If you would like to make a gift recognizing the amazing efforts of our outstanding Catholic schools, you can do so now. Here's how, and we're making this as easy as possible for you. First, you can make a donation online by logging on to archchicago.org/give-to-schools. Any amount is appreciated. You can also call the number that appears on your screen. That's 312-534-7959. Any amount is appreciated and makes a difference. We thank you very much for your support.
Blessed are we, holy children of light are we. Blessed are we, chosen people of God. Blessed are we, God has plans for you and me. Blessed are we are the children of God. Children of God.
As you heard, despite the sudden pivot to remote learning in the spring, Catholic schools opened to full in-person instruction this academic year, much to many people's surprise. I am very proud of each and every teacher, principal, and staff member who made this possible. We kept our students safe through implementing rigorous health and safety guidelines. We were blessed to have access to additional space to expand our instructional footprint, such as pastoral space near our schools. This allowed us to ensure safe social distancing for our students. We had little, if any, person-to-person spread of COVID in our schools, and if there was a recorded case of COVID-19 exposure, our dedicated contact tracing team worked to notify students and families to ensure minimal spread, and students kept learning. It came thanks in no small part to our teachers. There are so many stories to tell of their resilience. You'll find a bit of all of them in the story of Janine O'Malley, a preschool teacher from St. Cajetan's School.
My name's Janine O'Malley. I'm the half-day preschool teacher here at St. Cajetan Preschool. My class is 3- and 4-year-olds combined. My job is to make kids want to come to school. If we're the foundation of all their school years, I want it to be, school is a wonderful place.
You're all set. Yeah, here. Thank you, friend. You're all good.
They just know when they walk in the door, get the hand sanitizer, hang up my bag, and then find a polka dot on the floor. And we purposely place these on the floor to give enough space to follow all the protocols and keep them where they need to be.
So we're wearing a mask to keep other people
safe. I said, what? Does anybody know why we're doing this? The first day, because of the corona, which was so funny. But they're so good about learning about germs and taking care of themselves and being kind to others and taking care of others too. Every day we do calendar, which is a super exciting time because it's very important to be picked to be calendar helper or the weather reporter.
Nora's going to observe what it looks like outside. Oh, she's got the binoculars.
I always say that we're doing backdoor learning, that they have no idea we're working on math, on patterns and counting and science with the weather.
What sound does M make? And that says March. You are readers.
So I think a lot of people think that oh, they just play in preschool. And they do play, but it's such an important part of learning.
I'm Mick O'Malley. I am in 7th grade at St. Cajetan's School. My mom teaches here, and I have 2 siblings who also go to the school here.
This is how we do uppercase N. You start at the top. Line down.
Her famous phrase is practice peace, and I know she uses that with her preschoolers all the time. Her job is to work with kids, and she loves shaping little minds, as she says.
This is why I love teaching preschool. I want that to stay forever, to think, I can do anything, and I'm a good person.
We had a good day. We had a good day. And you had a good day. We're school today. See you next time. See you next time. See you next time. We'll all come back to play.
Janine O'Malley is proof our school community came together for student success. As evidenced by our academic assessment results, we know our students didn't skip a beat, continuing to learn and grow throughout the year, far outpacing national trends. We provided faith-filled education that strengthened our school community during a time when many of us needed spiritual and emotional support. Talk to the parents of Catholic school students, and they'll tell you just that.
When do you go to church again? Hi, I'm Pablo Alvarado. I am the parent of Adrian and Ariana Alvarado. They're both students at St. Genevieve Catholic School. They were going to a Chicago public school, but due to the COVID, the school, went remote. So I decided to transfer them to the Catholic school at St. Genevieve.
During the pandemic, we see that
kids need to go to school because unfortunately Chicago Public Schools closed all the schools. And it was hard for us as a parents being all the time with the kids. I love my kids, but sometimes it was so hard for us.
I have an education background as an educator. I know that it's really important to have this physical contact and learning in front of a person rather than being in front of a computer. They were happy actually to go back to, even though they were going to a brand new school where they didn't know anybody.
My teacher is nice to me because when I don't know how to spell nothing, she helps me sound them out. Then I learn much better.
She loves it. I can encounter you with something that I tell my daughter, do you want to go back to the other school or switch school? She's like, no, I want to stay at St. Genevieve. And you know, that's unique when you see that they're happy.
We have hope. We hope this new year doesn't end like the last. We hope that this new year is filled with happy memories and new opportunities. We hope for many things. We hope being ourselves. It helps others, staying positive. Peace, love, joy is a need. Coming together as a community is a need.
We sit and hope for the future to be better. We hope for love and positivity. We don't let negativity come around. And we wait for God's prayers. We believe in something good. We all can be kind and succeed in life. Hope is something that helps you get things done. Sometimes helping your friends brings them joy. We hope for the end of COVID-19 and racism.
We just want racism to end because people judge how people look different from them. We have hope that there will be more peace and justice for the people who lost their lives to police brutality. But the main thing that we all have is hope in the future, and everyone should love each other. For peace, we are God's children.
Greetings, friends in Christ. It fills me with great pride to gather today with you so that we can all hear about the incredible success our Catholic schools have achieved during this very challenging year. Courage and faith were needed this year more than ever, and our teachers, parents, and administrators who joined with our staff of the Archdiocese did not disappoint us. We opened our schools to in-person instruction after working over the summer with a diverse group of stakeholders, including public health officials, parents, principals, and a panel of medical experts in the field of infectious disease and epidemiology. This strong partnership aimed at providing a safe learning and work environment for our children and staff. We succeeded because we worked together. Our faith-based education motivated our school leadership to ensure that our students did not miss a beat in their academic growth. They put kids first by not disrupting their educational and spiritual journey. To our superintendent, Dr. Jim Rigg, and his staff, to our teachers, leaders, and personnel working in our Catholic schools, I want to express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude for the selfless sacrifice of your time, your energy, and resources. Your dedication to our students this year has been nothing short of heroic, and I am certain that your students and school families also share this sentiment. But I also want to acknowledge our sponsors for today. Thank you for bringing us together. I thank also all those who financially support our schools directly with donations to the Emergency Tuition Fund and Academic Excellence Program. We also value greatly our partnership with the Big Shoulders Fund, which does so much good. I also appreciate the sacrifice of all those who participate in the Invest in Kids program. The state's tax credit scholarship benefits thousands of lower income families, and I want to take this moment to encourage your ongoing support of it and letting our elected officials know of your support. For all of you watching this from home, I thank you for joining me in celebrating Catholic education this unique year. Now more than ever, your support will make a difference in the lives of our Catholic school families. If you would like to join our sponsors in supporting Catholic education, please visit www.archchicago.org to make your gift online. Thank you again. May God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you, Cardinal Supich, and thanks to each one of you for joining us today. Catholic schools have been here at an incredibly difficult time, helping our students and their families thrive. They'll be here for them this coming school year as well, and we thank you very much for your support in making that happen.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.